This is Richmond responding to the prompt, Gratitude, Reciprocity, Community. Attitude with gratitude is the first thing comes to mind. It's something to practice that helps the hard things in life be less so. There are many people, places, things that I feel gratitude for, and many things for which I do not feel gratitude for and would rather avoid. It's important to let people in my life know, friends, family, and others, that I'm grateful for them. And my neighbors in the Bayview Terrace apartments, being helpful, stopping to chat, being interested in what somebody is saying, is a way of practicing gratitude for the give and take of giving and receiving. Reciprocity. Being in relationship with others, sometimes we give, sometimes we take. Sometimes we are in relationship where we are giving, and those whom we are giving to have nothing to give back. Sometimes what we get back from that transactional act is the joy that comes from the giving without thought for reward. There are also times when being in relationship, we deem that there is not the proper balance of give and take, and resentments may form as the joy of giving wears thin. It happens. Perceptual lack of reciprocity. Moving on. When we offer something and expect nothing in return, the act of generosity may render its own feel-good brain chemistry neurotransmitters aligned towards reciprocity. Of community, perhaps the practice of gratitude and reciprocity are part of that formation. Previous to moving to Two Harbors 4 years ago, I'd never thought of myself as being part of a community. Having lived in Minneapolis for 25 years or so, one neighborhood, one house, with neighbors who were oftentimes my friends, we looked out for each other. We celebrated good times and helped each other through the difficult. Reciprocity. When I moved to Two Harbors, July 2020, I'd made the decision that I wanted to be part of the community. It was an open-ended proposition, and I was unsure how it might evolve. At the time, there was my one friend on the shore, Martha. Martha was instrumental to my moving here, with the invite to visit her in Silver Bay for a couple weeks. During that time, we made excursions from Two Harbors to Grand Marais, taking in the wildness and beauty of the North Shore woods and waters. Within those 2 weeks, my mind was made up, and here we are. The first friend I'd made in Two Harbors was Lana, whom I'd gotten to know over visits for acupuncture. I'd asked if there were any meditation groups I might look into. She suggested the Wild Waters Meditation Group. That was the turning point that initially brought me into the community of Two Harbors. It was during a fall picnic of the Wild Waters group in Brimson where I'd first met Fran. We'd arrived about the same time, introduced ourselves whilst walking from parking area to picnic. Later, during a walk through the woods, Fran and I had some good conversation. Good enough that, sometime later, we got to know each other over coffee at the Vanilla Bean, discussing, amongst other topics, climate change. From there, I was introduced to folks at KTWH Two Harbors Community Radio. Becoming involved in community radio the Voyagers Art Club and the Wild Waters Group has brought many friendships bearing forth the sense of community, with the attitude of neighbor helping neighbor, friend helping friend, reciprocity, gratitude. The day before last I did a good deed. Looking down from my 6th floor living room window to the sidewalk below, there was a woman walking and her mittens fell out of her pocket, one, then the other. She kept walking. I've lost many an item of clothing and gear to the woods and waters. Losing your pair of mittens or gloves can be a significant loss. I bolted out my apartment door, ran down the 6 flights of stairs, and caught up to her just as she was entering the building, gave her her mittens. She thanked me. We exchanged names and a smile. Start to finish, the whole thing, from mittens lost to the exchange of name and smile, took maybe 3 minutes. 3 minutes with an outcome that left me, for lack of a better word, joyful. To do something that brings tangible benefit for someone where you get to see it through, start to finish, that has its own reward of gratitude, reciprocity, community.